What's up, and welcome to episode 50 of Brewing Through
Holy
the
shit.
Multiverse. Oh, there it is. What are you drinking over there?
I'm drinking Cape May Brewing Company Indian Pale Ale,
Okay,
well balanced American IPA.
well balanced. Well, for America. I
Yeah.
got my Hoop Tea Light. I'm hurting from all the holidays,
This is
calorie-wise,
not by choice.
alcohol-wise. Yeah, yeah, it hurts. But how you doing, man?
Good. Oh, that's bad. That's terrible.
I wasn't gonna warn you, but yeah,
Oh,
not always the best one.
6.3% alcohol by volume. It's
Hell
literally
gets
the only
there.
beer I had in the house. I figured for Brewing Through the Old Multiverse episode 50, I should have a brew. But good
Muscle
lord, do
through it.
I hate this shit. It's like I already don't like beer, and this is just the worst form of beer for me. For me, I know it's very popular, but for me,
I don't like the Cape May
it's not
either.
good.
So I agree with you. I don't know. I stuck with the light tea today. I have Stella's, but my belly. I got was a barbecue food yesterday, which I
Hell yeah,
also ate for
brother.
breakfast. So
Hell yeah, brother.
yeah, keep it light. But Happy New Year. We did it. The last episode of the year. We did a whole year of recording. We're on episode 50.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it? What do you think of our massive accomplishments on a year-long podcast?
I just think it's fun to talk about Magic weekly, you know. Our fan base has grown from 1 to 4 people, so we've really increased our growth by over 100%.
Oh
And
man, I feel like I don't know if there's any growth, but that's okay.
yeah.
That's okay.
I mean 0 to something. We have some number of listeners, so
Yeah,
that's more than
that's
0.
right.
So that's
That's
growth.
right. Yeah. Well, yeah, it just we don't have any advertising. We don't post anything anywhere. We literally just upload these to the internet, walk away from it, and
Yep. Just let it ride.
yeah, as the way content should be. No,
100%.
no. If anyone wants to start taking random clips and posting it, go for it.
Please, yeah. You could be our brand manager.
There it is. I'll send you altered magic cards. That'll be payment. But yeah, man. We played Magic the Gathering yesterday as our final games, and it went really well. We got 6 games in. It was just good sitting all together. Me, you, Connor, Troy, and yeah. Any games that stood out for you from yesterday?
I forget what everyone was playing, but I played my Layla deck for the first time, and that game went on for like 2 hours, but it wasn't like, some games get sloggy where no one can really do anything. I felt like it was a long game, but it wasn't that like sloggy, like, well, we're all just kind of like drawing passing. Felt like there was a lot of ups and downs, and big
Yeah,
fan of that game.
yeah. Like we had said, you squeezed the most out of that game. Like every deck was squeezed for everything it could do. Everyone had a turn. Troy was playing his Abzan food deck. Connor was playing Quain kind of group hug, and I was playing Bumbleflower kind of group hug. So yeah, there
Yeah.
was a lot of resources going around. You were doing
Cards
a lot
being
of
drawn.
goading. Yeah, yeah. You came down to what, like 4 cards left in your deck or
Yeah, I had 4
something when you
cards
won?
left in my deck. Yeah.
Wild. No. Games like that make it worth it. Where it was a long game, but I'd rather play that one good game than 2 okay games. So, boom.
So actually, I mean, more specific to me, just reviewing Commander game from the other day, and kind of reviewing how I am as a Magic player in general. I feel like I want to break up my Planeswalker deck now after playing it yesterday.
Now, why is that?
Now, while we were playing yesterday, I was having a great time with it, but then I've started to care. This is gonna sound terrible. I don't know what the fuck. Just a whole bunch of cards.
No, that was my phone. Thank God, not cards.
Who needs? Yeah, who needs that shit? Um, I was having a great time, but as I've tried to come since to a certain type of play styles from when I first started, and I just felt that I have a lot of fun playing that deck, but I don't feel like other people have a lot of fun playing against that deck. And for instance, I had that Jelacolo, I don't know how the fuck to say it. The six mana sorcery that destroys all lands, creatures, and artifacts.
Yeah.
That was in hand. Now I could take that out of there, but I feel like that's the kind of thing you need to like get over the top with Planeswalker, especially in Jeskai, when you don't have
Yeah.
like auto ults from like doubling season. But I chose not to cast that because I was like, that would not be fun for everyone to play through. And that's what actually got me spiraling on a thought of like, well, I could take it out, but then like, is any of this fun to play through? Does anybody like watching me like diddle with my commander, my planeswalkers for a long time? So I'm trying to be more cognizant of like what will the table find acceptable to sit through.
That's an interesting thing. As for me on the opponent side of the Planeswalker deck, I didn't see it as a problem at all. Yeah, as you know, right off the bat, I know it's a problem deck. So I was going after the Planeswalkers with all my earnest heart. The problem is when I started calling it out, everyone kind of saw me as kind of like crying wolf and started coming after me. Like I had my Kambal removed instead of your Planeswalker, which was at 6 loyalty, and it's like I don't think that was the right play. If we can make it aware that hey, this is a problem deck, let's all kind of do a little arch enemy, keep you on the on your heels a little bit, then it's fair and it's fun to try to do that. The problem is one, no one ever believes me, and two is if we're constantly going after you, is it going to be fun for you then? So you're trying to play this deck to be fun. We're trying to have fun by keeping your deck down. But then is this even a game of Magic that we're playing? Or is this kind of, cat and mouse?
It doesn't seem like it. Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying. And
Because I'll make anything fun.
yeah. And then it's
But
like, do I always play this deck with the option of like either I need to use that spell to destroy everyone's shit so that I could live with like 3 planeswalkers and grind value out until they quit because it's annoying, or like do I want to just be beaten into the dirt very early in the game while everyone else develops board states because no one's going after the other 2 players that they're playing against, and then all of a you know what I mean, like that sort of thing. I'll hold it on. Maybe I'll play it one more time and see how it goes. But th- one of my 2024 reflections is being cognizant of how my opponents feel playing against my decks. Because sometimes I want to play degenerate shit, but no one actually enjoys playing it. Is that good for the health of the play group?
All right. Well, as part of the play group, I've never sat there and been fatigued. Like, I hope he doesn't fucking play this deck again. I think you're at a good spot, and I know that it's something you enjoy doing. So I think you're okay now. Being cognizant is always good, but I think you're in a good spot. But also, I get it, because when I'm building my decks, I definitely don't put cards in that I think is a problem. That's why I only run one Cyclonic Rift against all my decks, why I choose not to ever really play any of the Praetors that keep a, I'm a black player, and Grave Pact and Dictate of Erebos, and I think that's the one, and all these ones that are like in Plague, my God, I'm gonna slap this phone everywhere. I'm gonna put this over here. But like the Plague that comes in and makes everyone sacrifice, that way no one keeps a deck. I don't run those cards just because if I'm gonna win, I want to win while they have their commanders out, because it's hard. If you literally can't stick a commander, it does take away from the game a little bit. So I hold that down a little bit. Like removing a commander early 1-2 times, but at some point it's like, okay, we'll keep it going. But at the same time, it hurts when you start powering down your decks and then you walk away from a game of a whole long day of Magic and you didn't win any games. And it's because you chose to power down your decks. And it's like, well, now I didn't have fun. So it's a line that I think all Magic players go through.
Do you find yourself playing any different if you've already won in a day?
Unfortunately, no. So I typically don't win majorities. If I win, it's either my 25% share or I won one more than my 25% share. So it's never been like I'm coming in and stomping. But yesterday I won the last 2 games, I'm pretty sure. and I won the last game. And then we went to the last one. That did not affect how I played my next game. I went for the win on that next one too. I think Troy ended up not winning at all. And there was not a moment where I was like, don't attack Troy unless, I have to. So it doesn't ever affect me, unfortunately. But I also normally I'm trying to climb out of a lost hole anyway. So
I do find myself playing differently with internally my target meter goes if all things being equal and there's no imminent threat, it goes people that have won versus people that have not won. And then I have also in the past several months begun to, I don't know if it's been noticed, but for me it's been noticed, not cast like board wipes and things like later on in the game, just to my heart wants me to board wipe and climb out and like reset and try to hang on, but I know that that's not always the best for getting another game in.
Yeah, but I mean, we're already playing. The only times that I'd say is maybe, don't hold it back and just let it finish is if someone's already out of the game. So if there's one or two players out and like people
Yeah.
are literally swinging, it's like, all right, who's about to win right now? Just kind of let it happen and let's go to the next one. But if everyone's still in, do that board wipe.
Depends how many
try
times
to
I've
clear
won.
out.
If I've won already,
Okay,
I don't
that's fair.
cling. If I have
fair.
won though, if I haven't won, I'll dig through the dirt. I'll kill Bill out of the coffin in the earth to get the
Yeah.
W. But if I have won, it just let somebody else do their cool thing.
That's fair too. Yeah, from the start, I've never walked into Commander to be like, let's see how many wins I can get or anything. I mean, like I said, obviously there was that time when I went on my 15 loss streak.
Damn, yeah.
And that's when I was like, okay, I need to prove something to myself. I don't know if it's my decks or me, but something's got to change here. But typically, I walk in just looking for my deck to go as crazy. So okay, you went off really hard, and then I was going to concede, and we're both about to finish the game, and then Connor's like, hold on. Let me do my turn. And his turn goes and he just kills all of us.
Yeah, that's great.
It's stuff like that where it's like sometimes, like, even if I think I'm winning and I feel bad that I'm winning, it's going to be a special moment for another opponent when they
Do the
claw
thing.
out and get their victory. So, and if you don't claw out, I gave you an opportunity, you could try, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't ever see myself sandbagging a win or holding back. The only thing I will do is if I've used a lot of my removal on an opponent, even if they're still ahead, if I've been focusing a lot of my attention, maybe my fourth removal spell, even though technically their board is the best state, I might put it on something else just because one, I don't want to be too laser focused on any one opponent. And two, if they are still ahead after this much removal, let them do their thing. They're obviously reaching for something really hard. As long as it's not degenerate, like, okay, you could keep that. I'll remove their soul ring or whatever. So that's the only time I'll ever adjust my stuff. But in terms of like not going for a win, I build my decks as if I have one hand tied behind my back. I'll always make sure that there's some little deformity in my deck to make sure that if I win, it's with a little riz, a little,
Yep.
little
We
razzle
trained him
dazzle.
wrong
So
as a joke.
yeah. So that's it. But I still think they were all great games, and it's important to know your opponent's play style as well as their deck. So that is your play style. You are a winning tight player, and you have to incorporate that. That's part of the game. So
Yeah.
But fuck planeswalkers.
At least it's not in green.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
That's
So
what-
Connor played one, and he dropped doubling season, and we ended up targeting the fuck out of it.
Fuck
So
it. Yeah, fuck that. Because I've played a Bant Planeswalker deck in the past, and I know that there's nothing greater than dropping a Planeswalker after doubling season and just automatically ulting.
yeah, with no effort, just
Yep.
pop it in,
So good.
pop it
So
out,
good.
pop it off. There you
I
go.
miss that deck.
See,
Damn.
that's it. So if you want to play it, we'll always be there to fucking try to stop
No.
it. And now I can say, and you can just put a little disclaimer in the beginning. It's like, yeah, maybe try to remove my planeswalker, and then we're all good. And then you can try to stop us, but as long as you make it clear that this is a little menace, I'll always take you down. Don't worry. I'll keep on pegging you
Slapping
down.
spoons. Yeah.
That's it.
I have to build around knowing that, like, okay, I need to try to win 3 times because the first 2 will be thwarted by Michael.
Yeah, that's the little meta game to it all. Which hopefully maybe we get to play some spell table today. Like I said, I'm home all day. I ain't doing nothing. So if you're down to dabble, I'm down.
Yeah,
to
I gotta
dabble.
run some errands, but we'll touch base in a bit.
Yeah, of course, of course. But
All
so
right.
yeah, end of the year, who we are at the end. How do we feel about Magic the Gathering?
All right, before we get into the more gear stuff, I just wanted to see any standard
Yeah, I got a new deck that I built that I've been playing. But let me hear from you. Have you played it all? I know it's been a busy week. Have you gotten any more standard?
I got a couple of games in. I don't really have enough to say one way or another. I've had some amazing games where, you know, I stabilized like with single digit life and crawled back. I've had blowouts where I didn't know what the fuck my opponent was doing, and it seems that nothing I do would stick. You know, I played against some like four color like Descend deck that was just like bringing like Atraxa and like these crazy things from the graveyard back to the battlefield, and
Yeah.
fucking all different variants of like red and Boros aggro, mice, burn. Um, Played against a deck that had the caustic snake horse thing that did work. So it's my one comment about standard playing the little I have is just I'm blown away with the diversity of decks that you can make. I legitimately feel like every time I like play a game, it's just something completely new that I haven't played before or seen or like forgotten was still in standard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely the strongest and best takeaway from standard is it's a vast pool, it's an ocean of decks. And between the randomized, like the match system and everything, it makes sure that you're seeing everything out there. And it's great. It's great. Is there any decks that you're like, fuck that deck? Was it the Atraxa reanimation deck or
Yeah, that was insane. The only reason I felt like that was so crazy is because I mean, I was playing best of one to get games in. Obviously, in best of three, I have rest in peace in the side for that shit, so it'd be a lot easier. Um, but yeah, just like no matter what removal I used, it was just always bringing something back, some value workhorse monster. I mean, I feel like that deck would be a lot of fun to play in paper. But yeah, it was pretty crazy.
yeah. Yeah. And that'll rotate out in the next rotation. So at least, Atraxa and everything will go soon.
Fuck the bats though. I'm running the bats. Fuck the bats.
Yeah. Yeah,
Deep
the
Captain
bats are
Bats is insane.
why you have to run the 1 mana removal spell, whatever that is, the 1 black mana, because like you need to hit it before it takes it out of your hand. So you need that 1 mana removal spell for these bats. But at the same time, I mean, they're not that powerful. It's
They're
just
so
annoying.
good. Yeah, it's annoying that they're always there. If I see a swamp, I'm like, there's a bat coming soon.
Yeah. Yeah, but don't play it yourself. The bat doesn't win you the game, which is why I'm okay with it. Like when Shieldred was everywhere, that'll win you the game. But the bats, they're annoying. They're just like bats. If I run black, I'm running it. And if I run white, I'm running Sheltered by Ghosts because you still have to stay competitive. Like you need, I like my jank, but you need to have what's going to help you win. I ended up building a Jolly Balloon Man standard deck. So I built it in Commander, and with my obsessive self, I was so excited to play it. I was like, I'll just build a whole standard deck around it. It ended up being a rough build because there's 2 ways to go. There's the Delny way where everything's like 1 mana, 2 mana, 1 mana, 2 mana. Charming Prince is a great thing to be hitting with Balloon Man, whether you want to gain life, scry, or bounce other creatures. The Helpful Hunter is that little, cat that comes in and lets you draw a card. Enduring Innocence is the 1 white enduring card that if a creature 2 or less comes into the battlefield, you draw a card. So that's a phenomenal way to just keep your hand completely packed while you're doing little Balloon Men. But the problem is then it's very hard to win. So then the next thing that I asked myself with these little ones is, do I go with what is that 3-mana one that we're always playing? Oh my god, I had taken it out of here. The Impact Tremors fella, please help me here.
War Leader's Call?
War Leader's Call. So I ended up putting War Leader's Call in order for the ETBs to also deal damage, and then when I'm swinging, they're bigger. But it turned off all of Delny, and it turned off in the Innocence because they enter with the bonuses, so it doesn't get any triggers. So it ended up negating half of why I was building this deck. So then I was like, okay, maybe we'll do Balloon Man, but the ETBs and bigger creatures will be better. So I put stuff with Lifelink and everything like that. But then at that point, you didn't need Jolly Balloon Man. So it's been a weird way to build this to where Jolly Balloon Man is still worth it, but you're not getting it. And I found it. So what it really comes down to is get rid of Delny, lower down on the Endurings, and then Enduring Courage, which is the red one, which is 2 red. That says whenever a creature enters, it gets haste and gets +2/+0. Boom. That was the secret to make Jolly Balloon Man work. So then whenever you make a copy, that copy will be a 3/1 in the air, which is doing a lot more damage. You can have out the War Leader's Call because you're still getting the entrance damage and the pus. So now it's a 4/2 that's going to be a 1/1 in the air. And that ended up making Jolly Balloon Man a lot more powerful. The way you really win is with Regal Caracol, which is 3 white. It's a 3/3 cat that makes 2 1/1 cats with lifelink, and it says other cats have +1/+1. That's huge if you have out Enduring Courage, because all 3 creatures are going to get +2/+0, which is like 12 damage, 8 of it being lifelink. And then if you have Jolly Balloon Man out and you pay the 1 extra and you make another Caracol, that's now 4/2 cats with they'd be 5 3s because you have 2 Caracols that are both putting +1/+1. Everything has haste, they have flying, and it's just a fatal swing right there.
Yeah, it's a nut show.
It really is. And even if you don't win with it, you're going to gain like 20-30 life swinging like that. And then next turn, just make another copy of Regal. So that was my journey building this deck, and it was a lot of fun to feel it out, where at first you hear Balloon Man, you want ETB triggers, and then you're like, okay, but they're entering, so maybe we want to pump and deal damage on the ETBs, and then it's like, what's the best way? And it was Enduring Courage and Regal Caracols. So fun build. I had a blast playing this stuff. It's still not that powerful, but if you put out Elesh Norn, Mother of Machines, and you get double triggers and you stop your opponent's triggers, you get it.
Crazy. Turns out that's good.
Yeah, you get there.
If you do more of your thing and they can't do their thing, that's good.
That's it. And then so my board wipe has been split up, which is 1
really?
white, destroy all tapped creatures or destroy all untapped creatures. And it's great for turn 4, just do all tapped creatures because they swung out on me. Or, turn 6, I play them out. Great removal. I really recommend playing some split up if you need cheap board wipes. That's all I got on Standard. I had a fucking blast playing that.
Nice. All right, yeah. Standard. It's good.
Still good.
All right. 2024 in review. Best of. So, Michael, what is your favorite thing that happened in Magic the Gathering in 2024? Be it a set or rules change or a development?
My favorite thing that they did in 2024 is, and we just talked about it, is the revival of Standard. I mean, they touched Commander with the ban list. They're doing a lot of things, obviously, with Modern and Pioneer coming to Arena. They've done a lot for a lot of formats. So I'm talking for actual play. Formats, they're doing great. Bringing Standard to 3 years rotation was the best thing they've ever done. I remember when they brought it down to 1, and I thought I liked that. It turns out going up to 3 was the best. And I can't stop playing it. I can't stop building it. People are going out to play Paper. It fired on Saturday at the shop, which is incredible. So I got to say 2024 was the revival of Standard, and I can't be happier. How about you?
Awesome. I would say my favorite thing this year is the Fallout set. I'm a huge fan of Fallout. I would say probably favorite video game series of all time is Fallout. And they killed it with that set. I mean, the cards were flavorful and fun. They had cool designs. I'm running 3 of the 4 precons. You know, obviously upgraded and changed, but I still have them floating around. You know, I'm playing them actively. Mothman might be one of my favorite decks that I built this year altogether. Um, yeah, if I was just very thrilled with how like they knocked it out of the park with Fallout.
Yeah, it definitely. I have it down here as the best Universe Beyond of 2024. I'm playing these cards constantly. I think the junk token, the furthering energy, the radiation counters are phenomenal, and so I was telling you earlier, I just finished watching Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power season 2, and as I'm watching it, the coolest thing that's happened is I see it as a plane in the multiverse. Like, the land is a plane in the multiverse. When I see those characters, they are Magic the Gathering characters in a universe that I know that's Magic the Gathering because I know them all on cards. And it's this beautiful thing that shows that the cards were so married to the lore that it feels like when I'm watching it, they're connected. They actually have a
Yeah.
bridge connection in my mind. And I now I didn't really play Fallout, but I feel without playing Fallout that they achieve that same thing with this deck. Because when I see these cards, I've seen trailers, I watch people play it, I've played some. I feel a connection with that, and I think they're just killing it. But with Fallout, they really they struck gold there. And it's fun, it's mechanical, it's powerful, it's very Magic, but it looks so Fallout. It's a masterpiece. Fucking masterpiece.
I also want to shout out to Foundations. Because when I heard about Foundations, I wasn't sure how it would go. And I am shocked by the number of super cool cards that Foundations has. And just the fact that it's always going to be around for the next like 5 years and they could extend it longer. Like, I feel like Foundations was a slam dunk.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, here's a question that me, Troy, and Connor were having when we were driving to you is, after these 5 years, is the new Foundations going to be a whole new set? Are they going to take some cards off of the Foundation list and put new cards on? Are they almost going to release like a DLC where it's just an add-on to Foundations? How do you think they handle this once it's time to reconvene with the set?
I could see, well, so I feel like when they originally said it, they said, it'll be here through 2029, and that if there's nothing stopping them from extending it longer than that if they wanted to. I mean, it's tough to stay now because it's only been out for, literally a month. But I could see people kind of getting maybe bored of it. But I could also see them just adding like a couple of new cards. And you know what I mean? Like, but then they have the starter box products too. I don't know if they keep producing that. Maybe they just leave it as is. Maybe there is no real need to change it or make Foundations too. Maybe there should just always be like an evergreen set in Magic.
Yeah.
Standard at least.
But as power creep happens, I'm just curious. Or like even like eventually Omniscience gets broken. Do they ban it, or did they just wait and remove it from the Foundation's 2029, readdressing?
Yeah, revised.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
I kind of agree on you of like, don't touch it. If you want to, like I said, maybe DLC, add like a 24 card update every few years to add to it, something like that. But then how do you package, process, and make money off of it?
Exactly.
Which they
Wizard's
definitely
way.
want that.
Yeah, for sure. In fact, actually, Foundations and Duskborn, I feel like the year ended really strong.
Yeah. It started strong too. I know you didn't like Murders too much.
Nobody liked Murders too much.
And the Cowboy set was a little on the nose. Okay, so yeah, no, they finished stronger than they started. All right, there it is. I loved Bloomborough though, so I just don't want to put that in the shit.
A lot of people liked Bloomborough.
Yeah.
It was just really people didn't really love the limited format.
Yeah, I loved that too. I'll die on that hill. I think that was better than people give it credit, but I also understand that tribal isn't for everybody. So
But yeah, I mean, Bloomborough, Duskmorn Foundation, solid end. Modern Horizons 3 was midway through the year, and that was a great set despite, people, whatever its effects on modern is, there are, lots of great cards in that set.
yeah, great for commander. Great commander set.
Absolutely.
Yeah, their double-sided lands were great. If you haven't picked them up, and I know they're going up in money, just grab some of their modal lands.
By far my favorite thing in that set are the, double-faced, dual-faced lands with the ability to pay 3 to have it come in untapped.
Yeah, it's
That's
phenomenal.
my favorite shit ever.
Yeah.
I cast one
Grab
last
'em.
night. The fell the profane or whatever.
That's
I
right, to
didn't, I
destroy a
didn't need that
creature.
land, and I destroyed a creature. Sometimes you
do
do
it.
need a land. Pay 3 life to have it enter untapped. If it's early game, just have it come in tapped because you don't need to get.
Come
Big
in tapped.
fan.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Win on that card.
Any other shout outs from 2024?
Well, I guess we'll save this one for the worst of, but I'll protect it. Builds. There's specific cards. I'm sure we'll get to that. I spell table. I think that's cool. That was developed and said. Well, I guess that was years ago, but
Yeah,
new to
it's been
me.
around.
So yeah, I'm excited. Maybe that'll be more of a 2025 thing for me.
True.
But yeah, that's all I got.
All right, word. All right, well then, if we're doing the best of, clearly we need to discuss the worst of 2024. What was your biggest miss of 2024?
I think this is kind of maybe just because of the timing and everything, but I think the Commander ban list was just an absolute shit show. I'm glad that there was a resolution with Magic taking over, but I think that was a horrible banning. I think it was a mistake to ban those cards, because if you were playing it, you were already playing it. If your group didn't play it, you already weren't playing it. So all they did was just swat a fucking bee's nest, and then everything fell apart. It got even dirtier, and I hate that it even happened to our community and our game. So,
Yep.
How about you?
Rest in peace, fucking Mana Crypt. I get so sad when I shuffle past them in my artifacts pile. It's like,
here they all are right here.
They're all there in the back.
Oh, is that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know where my Jewel Lotus is then. Huh, that's a problem. oh, it was. There it is. Okay. Yeah.
There it is. No.
Yeah, I was going through my piles, and they're all just laying here.
Just sad, yeah.
Just laying.
And the lonely. Actually, real quick, before we move on, I haven't checked the price of what a Mana Crypt is going for anymore. Let's see.
I'm pretty sure it's like $70, 70 or 80. No, 50. I think we checked.
Yeah, the Double Masters Mana Crypt fucking is $52.
Are you gonna sell yours? I think I'm gonna sell mine. I think I'm just gonna sell it.
I don't know. I mean, I'll sell the blue one probably. I just feel like have they even sold any recently? Like, when's the last time? They're crawling out of here. 2 of those sold in October, 1 in November, 1 in December. So.
Okay. So John doesn't want them.
He might. He might want them. But it's so sad to see them at $50, $60. What's Dockside at?
I'm gonna say $26.
The cheapest Dockside from the original printing is $12.
Wow. I'm gonna buy those. I'm gonna buy some of that, man. Those.
Yeah.
That was my favorite card. I don't think that should have been banned. It's so good.
Holy shit. Good. Dockside at 12.
No
Mana
worse than a
Crypt's
Mana Drain.
50s. And Jeweled Lotus, which is now functionally useless. It literally is a card that does nothing. Still going for $30 actually.
There it is.
They can't have sold many though. I think people are actually, they're selling a decent quantity of them. I think people are snapping some of these up with the anticipation of unban. That's why I'm gonna hold mine. Honestly, I'm gonna hope that they get the bracket system. Once we get more word on the bracket system, if like it becomes pretty evident that we're not unbanning them, like there's no way, like it's official, it's not happening, then I'll get rid of them because why not try to get the $20 out of them at least? But as long as there's the hope that they unban Metacrypt, probably gonna hold on to it.
That's a fair point. All right, so I'll hold on to it until we hear more about that, and then I'll choose accordingly. Because in one breath I'm saying I want to build a CEDH deck, and then my other breath I'm like, yeah, but I also want to get rid of all these super useful cards that would be good for the CEDH deck. So,
and my worst of actually is another thing. I did not love Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Now, I think Outlaws of Thunder Junction is a better set than Murderers at Karlov Manor, but I was more excited for Outlaws. And then when it actually dropped, it was not great for me. Like, there's not many cards in that set that I'm like,
this is a Spree card. I'm just holding it up because I think
Yeah.
Spree was one of the best mechanics, man.
loved Spree. I just didn't love the flavor. I didn't like the Wild West set as much as I thought I would.
Yeah. I very much agree with that. When they spoiled it and then Hell to Pay was one of the first cards they showed, I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a lot goofier than I thought. I wanted something Red Dead Redemption, and they gave us something a little more spaghetti western. So
yeah, love Spree. Spree is one of the best mechanics of the year. In fact,
Yeah.
if not the best of the year. But and I like the cards. It's just something about the Wild West just didn't do it for me.
Yeah. Bristly Bill. Good cards, but again,
good card. Don't give a shit about those cactus people though. They don't look cool.
Yeah.
I'm not excited about casting Bristly Bill. He just is good.
Isn't it weird that Tato Farmer is so much cooler than Bristly Bill?
100% it's Tato Farmer. Come on, that's insane.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I like the set. I really like the plot in limited. So the limited format of that set is better than I anyone wants to give it credit, but yeah, aesthetically, meh.
Fortell is better than plot. Prove me wrong.
I don't know about that, man. There's something great about casting that plot spell for free.
I just don't like my opponents knowing what I'm going to cast.
No, that's fair. No, you're right. You're right. Strategically, it's probably better. Same, different, but still the same.
Yeah.
Well, I guess another bad thing is the cost. Like, I want cheaper shit. Like I remember John was doing 3 packs for $10.
Yep.
Because they were just the draft packs, and that's just the way it cost. And it was totally fine for him to do that. Now you're only buying set packs. You're paying almost $10 for 1 pack. And it really inhibits me from being able to just go crack some packs. Having to spend $25 to $30 to open up 3 booster packs is a problem. And 9 times out of 10, if I walk in and I'm going to spend that money, give me a collector's pack. And now I just spent, over, an hour's pay for opening just some shiny bullshit that's going to coil heavily, curl up. And it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel the fucking same, man. I want to open a bunch of packs and I want to not care that I open shit. Now, when I open shit, I legitimately feel bad. And that shouldn't
it's like,
be.
Damn. It was a $30 pack, and the best thing I got was 2 copies of Leyline of Residence.
Right. And I know that opening up the packs, you're going to get more value in terms of more rares and uncommons. However, financial value, you're getting raped. Yep. So great. I have cooler cards and everything, but I'm not playing in paper anymore for the most part, unless it's Commander, and I'm buying those in singles. And then I can't even sell this shit because you have 19 different versions of this rare that I pulled. So the one I'm holding here is pennies. So I don't know. However they can make me feel better about opening up booster packs without paying a ton of money, I would enjoy them looking down that avenue.
They're never going to do it. It's too much money.
No, I know. It is. It makes sense what they're doing in order to keep it going, but it hurts. It hurts a little bit to know that I can't just go buy packs with a $10 bill anymore.
Yeah. Rip. Rip that.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, so 2024 overall, good year, solid year in Magic. Couple of hiccups, but I would say pretty good. So I decided to everyone, our entire play group. I got all the decks that everyone has. Uh, Originally with the intention of my Christmas gifts this year to everyone was building everyone a deck based on their least played colors. Which then evolved into making stats of what we play, how many decks how many decks there are, and all that good stuff. So I'm a big fan of stats episodes of things, so I figured we could do our own like mini stats
I'm so excited for this,
segment.
man. This is awesome.
Yeah, hold on, let me pull up my
Yeah,
spreadsheet.
yeah, because you were asking us. All right, so let me preface this. You've been asking us what our decks are and everything, and we list it because we're proud of all of our decks and everything. Didn't realize that you were using this info to make data, but then we show up for a Christmas game, and you have fully made customized decks for everybody. You built, I want to say 6, 7, 8 decks.
One for
Custom
everybody.
made for each person, one for everybody, and it was absolutely amazing. You ended up doing a Miss Bumbleflower for me. The colors are not something I have. It's a play style that I'm always interested, but definitely not something I've played in a long time. You put it with cards that resonated with me, but kept it powerful. There was the land base is better than any land base I would have ever built. There were phenomenal cards in there.
It's terrible because I was like, I'm so sorry I'm putting snarls in here.
Dude, I was so shocked because I mean I run guild gates and bounce lands, bro. So it was phenomenal. It's a great deck. I tinkered, I put a few cards that I had that I would have loved to have in it. So it's now a fully customized personal deck for me, built from my man Joel. So thank you. Interesting, but you got to tell me how that all went and how
Okay.
much of an endeavor was that? Because me building 1 or 2 decks is a lot. So was it overwhelming?
And no, not at all. You don't understand. Like, I love building decks. I love building decks. Like, it's my favorite thing to do. And then I went through a couple months ago a period of time where I like upgraded all my decks, and then in the process of that, then I ended up building like 5 or 6 more decks. But my problem is I don't have, regardless of how much we've been playing, and we've been playing a lot more lately, which is awesome. I still just don't have enough time to play every deck as much as I want to. And some of them I threw together on a whim, and most of them I didn't buy. I didn't buy anything for them. It's just things I had lying around, pieces, parts of other things that, oh, this would make sense, combined with a couple of the packs that you had bought over the year. I mean, that sort of thing. So then I was like, well, I could divert it into like my friends who maybe are not as impulsive on building things as I am, and give them something new to play and scratch the itch for me of deck building, and that's why I decided to do it.
That's that's wild. That's again, for me, that sounds so overwhelming because I do like building, but the balance of it all, I would have just thrown the cards in a pile and panicked. They all came out awesome. I've seen all of them be played so far, and everything has done its stuff. So that's a feat and a treasure. Thank you.
Of course.
Do you feel satiated from building this? Does it leave you hungry to build more?
Oh, well, I still have to build. Joey's is in process, and so is Melissa's. So I am.
Okay.
I am
Still feeding that then.
Still doing it. Yeah. So once I complete theirs, then I've covered everyone in the play group, and I can start deconstructing more of mine.
Awesome.
Because I've started to try to be much more hypercritical of my decks in terms of like, did I enjoy this? Was this fun? Did it work? Like, am I excited to play it? Like, I played I made that landfall deck. I'm gonna play it one more time before I break it up, but I'm not like, oh, I can't wait to play that. I have other decks I'd love to play. Like, I'd rather play Mothman. And then conversely, I threw together the Golgari Reanimator type deck. on a whim, thinking like, oh, whatever. And then now I love it. In fact, like I want to actually look at it again and tweak it more because I didn't think I'd like it as much as I did. So
Yeah.
you just need that.
That's fun when you build a deck just cautiously and curiously, and it ends up doing what you want. You know.
Yeah, I'm like, this is fun as hell.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into some stats. Haha, thanks, Command Zone. Fucking cease and desist letter. So the average number of decks that our playgroup has, and this is between, I think I have 7 players. There's 7 players in our main playgroup. The average number of decks per player is 11. Now, you're right on the average, and
There I am at 11.
I and Melissa are pulling it up. Troy is on the other end, but we average 11 decks per player, which I thought was pretty interesting. So let's start with monocolor. Of the monocolors, what now this is per instance of it appearing. What color do you think collectively over all of our decks, which there are 78 of, by the way, 78 total decks, what do you think is the least played color?
Least played color is blue.
Okay. Well,
And
you
the
are
most played
spot
is
on.
green.
You're spot on with the least played being blue, 100%.
Nice.
I will say that
By a large margin.
Well, okay, so it depends what you consider a large margin. I thought these numbers were all closer together than I thought they were going to be. I thought it was going to be skewed slightly heavier. However, there is a distinct difference with blue coming in at the least with 35. Fourth least is white at 36. Then it goes to black at 37. Then it goes to green at 38. And clear winner is red at 40.
Wow.
40 is red is our most commonly played color.
I feel like I heavily skew that. I feel like my decks have a lot of red in them.
Yeah, you're up there. You have of your 11 decks, 7 of them have red.
Yeah. All right.
So I'm also up there in the reds too. But you're our thickest red player.
Yeah, that I feel that in my bones. Interesting.
So I was shocked by that. I didn't think you'd be red.
Yeah. Yeah. What was your highest color?
My highest color. I didn't actually take a peek at that. Hold on, let's do it real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess white for you. White or black?
Red, white, and black are all tied at 11 instances.
Damn. Okay. Nice.
I mean, it does help the fact that I have, 3 Mardu decks. So,
So
but
our
actually,
least is blue. Our least is blue. That's
our least is blue by far. So that's interesting, and that'll play into something we're going to touch on later. So moving on to the monocolor deck. So now I'm just going to kind of get into some interesting statistics that I noticed.
Okay.
And our monocolor decks. There are only one of each type of monocolor deck, including colorless, except for none of us are running a mono blue deck, which not surprising given the fact that blue's the least played, but there are no mono blue decks whatsoever, and there's only one of each of the other monocolors.
All right, for now. So Goldberry is still in the works. I promise Goldberry's coming.
You didn't list her as active. You didn't list her as an active deck, so I didn't.
Yeah, no, definitely not. It's not, but it is still in the works, so we're close to one.
Yeah. You're holding our only mono red deck. Melissa's got the black and the white going. Connor's got the green, and I have colorless.
Very cool.
So monocolor decks, we should. I like monocolor decks. I feel like it's fun building around their weakness of what can't they do, and then having to use those weird cards to kind of cover those gaps.
Yeah.
As for 2 colors, guess which guild or guilds we have the most of?
The most I would say is, I'm gonna say Rakdos or Orzhov, but I'll stick with Rakdos as for a final answer.
Okay, you are partially correct. Golgari, Izzet, Rakdos, and Simic are all tied with 5 decks apiece.
I would have said Golgari at the lowest. That's very interesting. Okay.
Well, so part of that is bolstered by the fact that I think Connor or Melissa have two. Melissa has two Golgari decks, so that's buffed up there. And actually, that number would be one higher because I'm not. Oh, I guess I did count it actually. I have two. Well, my wolf deck is probably going to get broken up, but I do technically have two.
Okay.
And I just wanted to do a snapshot of currently. So obviously these are going to fluctuate over the course of the year. I'm looking forward to do this at the end of the next year as well to see like how things have progressed.
Yeah. Damn. I love the idea of keeping stats on things. Okay.
Yeah, so that is those are the most. Can you guess which one is the least?
Well, depending on the stats, I'm going to say Azorius.
You spot on, motherfucker. Azorius with one lonely deck held down by Connor, which is the Queen deck that he played last night.
Quain, which was a blast and a half. So it
Yeah.
goes to show that you don't need to be staxing or fucking people to do Azorius.
So to take a brief sidebar here, last year, and I don't know the origin, so maybe you could fill it in for me, but I can't recall. Connor declared 2024 the year of Boros. Do you know what if there were any was there an impetus behind that? Was there any sort of reason he said that?
So there was a list of spoilers that had come out, and I don't remember exactly what cards they were that were being shown, but we were talking about them, and Connor was saying that the white cards and the Boros cards coming out are crazy, and his intent was this will be the year that some of the best Boro cards get printed.
Okay.
It's year of the Boros. Let's celebrate this year where Boros cards will be powered up, present, and relevant. And that's what brought this idea of Boros, from my understanding. Now, he did not explain this to me, but I believe we were talking about spoilers and cards and everything. And in hype for these powerful white and reds, he was like, year of the Boros. And then it just triggered. He just kept saying it, and it mantraed into our entire play group.
Well, yeah, shit. I I wanted to continue that, but this year I wanted to approach it with some stats based, data backing it up to see like what we should do. So, as it stands now, least played color is blue. So whatever we make it the year of really should have blue. We're gonna decide it between the two of us right now. If we're going based on the guild numbers, Azorius is the clear winner in terms of the number of cards, number of decks that are there. However, as far as instances of cards being played, can you see our play group all building a blue deck? Should we push Azorius as the year of the blue?
So it's hard. I think in order to give it a little bit more flexibility, because blue is a very divisive color and it's hard to do mono. So instead of just claiming that it's a year of the blue, maybe we can incorporate that white, which is the second lowest, and not meaning that it has to be paired. So we could call it the year of the woo, which is the white and the blue of it, and it'll be a happy woo year. So that's where I think it could be to where
I like happy woo year. I think that's it. We're all building Azorius decks. That's it.
That's it. And you can build the Azorius if you want to be, right on the nose. You can build mono white, because I mean I'm on the cusp, but I want to build Delny as a commander deck. I think that would be over the top. And it's similar to
shit. God damn.
Exactly. I mean, and just you put in the triggers, and then you put in the stuff that doubles it, the mother machines, and it could be so fun. It could be Trigger City, and then all your creatures are unblockable, so I'm still swinging in. And then when they deal damage, you draw a card. So if you do it Azorius, and then now you have the Coastal Piracy, and now you're drawing cards, and the Enduring, the blue, and there's so many ways. So I think with the option of using blue, white or blue and white,
Azorius, yes.
Right, so we're not calling it Azorius, we're calling it Woo.
Year of the Woo. Happy Woo year. That's it. All right. We conclusion that's definitively done. I'm gonna build white, blue, and Woo, but
Yeah, that's just it. So it just opens it up to everybody.
my goal is to find, and I'm gonna dig deep probably today because I'm a slut like that. I am going to try to build an Azorius deck that is not like some bullshit Staxy kind of. I want to try to find something like outside of the realm of Woo's normal bullshit.
Yeah, I already know what I'm building. Yeah, I'm 100% confident on it. Now, I would see you doing some sort of flying stuff, right? Wouldn't you do like
I've
bird
done it.
tribal or something
I
fun?
did that once before. I did have a bird tribal deck, and I found that I didn't love it because I built it because I was just proving a point that like a little bit of flying is all you need to like crush the table because no one ever has fucking flying blockers, and you only need like slightly strong things with flying to really fuck everyone's day up. Didn't love it ultimately, because it was pretty pretty lame. There weren't any cool birds that I really liked or like
It-
flying shit, so I
yeah,
didn't love it.
it's a one trick pony, and a lot of the birds are literally just they enter, you scry, they have some of them have lifelink. It's not flashy. I'm looking through some Azurius commanders right now. I mean, they kind of all do the same thing on the tops of them. I mean, Hilda of the Icy Crown is a pretty cool option
And
of
she's
doing,
new too.
stun counters and tap tribal. And, you end up being able to pump your creatures just by doing shit like that. So I think Hilda's a good option for somebody. Other than that, I mean, a
Urza
lot of,
Lord Protector.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Spirit Tribal is probably going to be a lot funner than Bird Tribal. So
Yes,
Spirit
agreed.
Tribal is an option. But for me personally, I'm going to build petitioners. I want to do my mill attempt with petitioners again. So that's going to be my
Mono blue.
fun build. No, I'm going to do Azurius. I'm gonna get the white in there because I know there's some advisors that are white.
Mhm.
So with the petitioners, don't actually care about petitioners; they care about advisors.
Got it.
So I'd be able to just get a little bit more variety in there. And there's some cool cards. Now, last time I had built it, I had used it with black and green, and they really helped. So it's going to be a totally different build for me altogether. I just need to get myself a whole bunch of petitioners.
Nice. I could start pulling mine. I definitely have a couple floating around.
Cool. Yeah, I know I got like 6 or 7. I sold some of them, but I got some laying around still.
I think I have between three to five.
Yeah, I mean, Nico Light of Hope seems pretty cool. So there's options. There's options. I hope people um, give this a chance because let's face it, this definitely is. I bet if you were to just go on the entirety of EDH Rec, Azurius is going to be the least built of the two colors. So
Yeah, that
let's
makes
give it
sense.
some love this year. Yeah,
That's the year of the woo. I'm probably also going to venture into a mono blue deck as well
nice.
because
Yeah,
the fact that none of us have one makes me want to have one more.
yeah. I have
And again,
Goldberry halfway, but that's not like it's going to be anything special. And
well, hey, by the end of the
Adelny
year,
is
maybe
something
there'll
I'm
be
interested in.
two.
Yeah. Hey, yeah.
All right, I'm glad
Then
we came to that
flood it.
decision. That was a
Flood it.
solid. That was a solid pickup.
Yeah.
Year of the
Happy Woo
woo.
year.
Happy woo year. All right,
There it
cool.
is.
So then
There's a title.
there's the title. Happy woo year. All right, and then just to cover the last little bits, of the three color decks, do you want to give me your estimate of what the most popular three color decks are? I'll
Jeskai,
give you a
because
hint
you
that there's two.
all right. So Jeskai, because you heavily skew that, and then I'm gonna say Abzan because everybody loves Abzan in our play groups.
Um, the two tied for first are Mardu and Naya.
Wow. All right, cool.
Mardu and Naya. Now, Mardu I find very funny because I have three of them. So I am a big part of the reason why that's so high up there.
I got one.
Naya, I actually don't have any of, which I also kind of find funny that I'm a huge part of one, but not any part of the other one.
I don't
I'm
think I
like,
have any Naya either, right? So who's packing all
no.
the Naya?
So Connor and Melissa come in again. Melissa is running. Connor has two. He reported. Melissa has one. Joey has Gishath, and where's that other Naya coming in?
Maybe Marcus?
Yes, Market has the Jirid precon that he plays.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. Well, shit. Maybe I got to build one of them too because I feel left out now.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say that I have Balin on deck. I broke apart squirrels. I broke apart pig. Probably gonna break apart. I forget what else, but I'm gonna go through it again. But I got that Balin raised foil, and it feels too pretty and like it's a rare find. So I want to like build the deck around it. So I'm also
Yeah.
noticing as a sidebar for personal stuff, looking at all my decks, is that I fucking love tokens apparently. Because I have so many decks that are built around producing tokens. I didn't even notice that. I didn't realize that. I was like, oh, Balin, I got to get my token stuff out. And then I realized I have the soldiers in Caesar. I have the humans in Aragorn. I have the fucking robots in Mr. House.
That's funny. I am not a token creator. I don't enjoy tokens. I don't enjoy creature tokens. I'll make non-creature tokens all day, but creature tokens, no, thank you.
I love creature tokens.
That's funny.
Oh, the fairies is a somewhat of a token deck.
Let's shout out that your fairies deck played phenomenally. Like really, 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 that was annoying as hell. Just all these fairies poking us in the air and then goading our biggest creatures so we couldn't crack back at you was so interesting. So fairies, cool deck.
Backed up by powerful counter magic to keep myself. I think my play of the game actually was using Factor Fiction to grab a Fierce Guardianship off the top of my deck as the 5th card, and then getting absolutely boned losing all the other cards because I was given the choice of one or the other.
Yeah,
the Fierce Guardian, but that was obviously the right call. But yeah, no, that was a cool moment.
Yeah. No.
Another
great cards.
Another fun fact, which made me laugh out loud actually when I was doing this, is that we have 4 Jeskai decks, and I have all 4 of them. I am the only person playing Jeskai in our entire play group.
Damn. Well, I mean, that makes sense. Jeskai's a weird color set because all you think of is Narset, so like for me personally. So
but I feel like mine are so diverse though. I have Planeswalker, Jeskai. I have human tribal / monarch Aragorn. I have energy, and I have Captain America. And those are all 4 very distinct play styles that have nothing, like honestly, literally nothing to do with each other.
Yeah. If I was to build Jeskai, my first idea would to be go to Zedru, the Great-Hearted.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. My only problem with that though is like I've been down this path too many times. The only things that you want to give people are things that are really going to fuck them. And the same with you and the Planeswalkers is like when I was playing Blim and I'm giving people cards that say if you have no cards in your graveyard, you lose the game. And, I just hand it over to them and suddenly they lose the game. Like it's fun the first time, but it's not something I want to run a deck off of. So fucking gifting stuff is a very, very careful thing that really doesn't work. It doesn't work.
So it's actually when you were running through that problem with Blim, I actually started really considering building this, and I hope somebody builds it. I don't know if I ever will, but I hope someone builds it. But John Irenicus Shattered One. Are you familiar with that one from
No, I'm not.
Baldur's Gate, I believe. Okay,
No.
so it's 2, a blue and a black. So 4 mana total for 3/3 elf wizard. At the beginning of your end step, target opponent gains control of up to 1 target creature you control. You put 2 1/1 counters on that creature and you tap it. It's goaded for the rest of the game, and it gains this creature can't be sacrificed. Whenever a creature you own but don't control attacks, you draw a card.
Wow.
So I was thinking, so obviously and I end up looking into like Reddit, to see like any recommendations, or like sometimes Reddit's good for like cards that don't show up on like EDH Rec or something you wouldn't think to search for Scryfall. So I like to do all 3 to kind of get like a wide picture. But somebody pointed out that, like, the obvious thing to do with these types of decks is to give people something shitty. But with John Irenicus, it seems like you could put actual good threats in your deck besides Archfiend of the Dross, which you would definitely put in there. But like, you could actually put good creatures in the deck and then just pack a shitload of removal and have actual good valuable creatures that people won't be upset that you gave them. Just fling at other people and protect yourself with just like removal and your own big creatures. So like, I kind of feel like John Irenicus might be a fun take on that gifting cycle.
Yeah, I like that. If I was to do that, I feel like as I was building it, I'd end up just falling into the Beamtown Bullies, though. I feel like the colors of Beamtown Bullies will allow you to hit better creatures and give them out with less. You don't have to pack removal because the Beamtown Bullies give it out. It's goaded, so it's not going to swing at you, and then they have to get rid of it, and they exile it. So Beamtown Bullies, just so everyone knows, is it's a 4-mana 4/4 Vigilance Haste. Tap it. Target opponent whose turn it is puts target non-legendary creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield under their control. It gains haste. Goad it. At the beginning of the next step, exile it. So kind of the same stuff, but I guess it's a one-trick pony. So maybe Nicholas, whoever you're talking about, Nicholas Amadeus,
John
is
Irenicus.
that sounds like maybe it lasts better, but immediately I would weigh the two out. The one card that I really like from Jeskai, that if I was to build it, this would be the first thing I think of, is the Great Wall. Let me see what the name of it is. It's that 3-mana wall that changes who you can only attack people to the left or to the right of you.
Sky Rampart.
Yes.
Legendary wall.
Yeah, when it enters the battlefield, choose left or right. It's a 1/5, and each player may attack only the nearest opponent in that direction. I love that. So if I was maybe I look into this and I'd build it like Shrine Tribal or something weird like that. Shrines and courts. That way, I just make sure that the person can't really attack me, and then I just have shrines and courts do the work for me.
That'd be cool.
Okay.
That'd be cool. I like that.
Yeah.
See, this is what
there's always something. Yeah, there's always something. We're brewing over here. We're brewing.
They're brewing through the multiverse. Least played Grixis, Jund, and Temur.
Yeah, for sure.
Makes sense with Grixis and Temur because blue is the least played color. Though I am surprised because there was a time that I had 3 Grixis decks and now I have 0. So that's just funny how the year oscillates. Jund,
Yeah.
I'm surprised that there's so few Jund decks because we have a lot of people that obviously everyone fucking loves red and black and green. Literally, red, black, and green are the 3 most played colors in our play group, and only 2 people are running Jund.
Wow. So I know I run Henzi. That's one of my favorite decks that I own.
That's one of the 2.
I just opened up Jund, and it's the second most popular commander in Jund is Henzi, which blows my mind. It makes sense, but it also
Henzi's
blows
awesome.
my mind a little bit. Yeah. Really, it's some of the funnest and most explosive plays are done by Henzi. So yeah, when are you building one?
I have a Jund deck.
Oh,
I'm the other Jund deck. We're the 2. I have Lord Windgrace, where my landfall deck is Jund.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, I really haven't played against that.
I only played it one time.
Is there any Jund decks that you've always wanted to build but you haven't yet?
Let's look. You gotta pull up.
Okay, yeah. Look on through because I'll call out mine. Is I've been talking about building a Yearlock of Scorched Thrash for 4 or 5 years now. As soon as it's released, it's the 4-mana 4/4 with Vigilance. Player losing unspent mana causes that player to lose that much life, so mana burn. And you could pay 1 and tap it. Each player adds 3 mana. I love this card. And there's so, like, my group Hug Mind wants to give people mana to do shit. And the idea of, like, well, if you don't use it, you're going to fucking get hurt by it. That shit gets me off. But haven't built it yet. So that would be mine.
I have wanted in the past to build Shattergang Brothers,
Yeah,
because I think
you've been
it'd be
talking.
fun to, all right, we're all sacrificing a creature. We're all sacrificing a land, an artifact or enchantment. So that would be a lot of fun. I also liked Beamtown Bullies. I love giving people shit and doing the thing. I thought that would be cool. But I would say overall it'd be the Shatter Gang Bros.
Yeah. All right. I tell you another one that you had even mentioned for me to build, which I keep on forgetting about, is Zyra the Golden Sting.
Oh
I think
yeah.
that's right up my alley too, man.
Yes,
It's
sir.
a 4 mana 3/3 flying haste. When Zyra the Golden Egg attacks, put an egg counter on another target creature without an egg counter. When that creature dies, if it has an egg counter on it, draw a card and create a 1/1 black insect creature token with flying. Love it. I love it. I love it. So we got, oh man, I'll build my woo, but fuck, I might start building Jund. Maybe I
You
break up
gotta.
Henzi. Maybe I break up Henzi.
No.
It's time I move on.
What?
I don't know.
If you don't
When
like
was the
playing it,
last
you
time I
don't like
played?
playing
Yeah,
it.
when was
Yeah.
the last time I played it? I feel like I've gotten everything I wanted out of it. Like that book that you've read a million times,
Yep.
and it's like maybe I give this book to someone else. Let them read it. But we'll
Um,
see.
and then so those are the three colors. And then not really terribly surprising, but only one of us is running a 4-color deck. Uh, Melissa's running Sands Black, which is I believe Omnath, her landfall deck. Yeah, 4 colors are interesting. I know at one point we all had the 4-color precons, and that was like years ago. So any interest in 4? And then in fact, just to put it all in a lump, nobody's running anything 5-color right now, which I was more surprised about, that there's
Yeah,
no 5 colors at all.
yeah. Bombadil ain't together yet, so eventually. That's a long burn. I gotta wait for more sagas to come out because I've got so many other
There's
things
a
in my plate.
shitload of sagas.
I know,
We
but
we went over that. There's like 80 something sagas.
but I need new ones to come out that are flashy and catch my attention, and then I'll be like, all right, Tom, it's time. Just something fresh. But
I would say as far
uh
as 4-color goes, something that I was interested in building at one point would be Saskia the Unyielding, just because I think it'd be fun to, choose somebody, and then every time you damage somebody else, you just bop that player. You know what I mean? Like you keep it on the biggest threat.
yeah, and you break that out like halfway through the play sesh. That way you can team up the two people that have been fucking around the most, and then
Yes.
you don't feel so bad having them lose it together because like you guys have been fucking up this whole time. It's your turn. Yeah, that would have to be strategically played throughout the night.
I
Four
also find
colors
it
rough.
slightly interesting that of all the 4-color combos, uh fucking non-black has 3, non-red has 2, and the other 2, um the other 3 only have 1 each.
Yeah.
Besides partners, obviously partners you could do this.
Do you like partners? Do you run partners? Are you ever deterred when you're looking as like,
Yeah, no, I don't like partners because I just find that for the most of them, and which is why they're great in CDH, is that like the design is generic because you are supposed to just like slap them with something else. That's actually the reason why I changed my Abzan Blink deck. I just slapped Thalia in there because I wanted to play Thalia somewhere, and I was like, I could run Timna, and I was running Timna and Kadama, and I was like,
yeah,
they're just generic value. I'd rather have a cool creature generic value. I don't love them. Long
yeah,
story short, they
yeah,
just are too generic.
yeah. I feel the same way, and I've been saying this since we started this podcast. And I'm going to keep on saying it. I can't wait till they remake the fucking Nephilim as commander decks or in a commander set. I want
Yeah,
new
come on.
Nephilim with wild abilities, things that people want to build. I don't care if they're a little like designed for commander. I'm okay with that. I get it. They need to sell these 4-color monstrosities. But I want them. I want the art to be out of control. I want them to really take care on their first real cycle of 4-color creatures. So I know we got the one commander set of 4 colors. I know. But I want this to be good. So that's when they make them, I promise I'm gonna pick 1, 2, 3, or all of them, and I'll go hard.
And then I guess real quick, any interest in 5-color at all?
Yeah, actually, I was just looking at a 5-color that wasn't Tom Bombadil. I honestly don't remember. I'm gonna pull it up right now. It was Cody. Cody, the Codex
Yeah,
book
yeah.
that I'm interested in building.
There's a gross like glass cannon combo with that.
Ugh. I will
Where
not do
you
that. I promise.
Yeah, where you just I think you could just put like wastes in there and then like 2 other cards where Cody will instantly go find the one card and then you can cast it, and because you just went through the whole thing, like I don't remember exactly what it is. I just do know that there's a glass cannon Cody combo.
It makes sense. My biggest reason why I would have built it earlier, I built it in Brawl, and my understanding reading it is he says you can't cast permanent spells. So in my head, immediately I was like, okay, well, I can't run permanents. It's going to be all instants
You
and
could cheat him.
sorceries and everything. I could cheat him, or I could just play my permanents, but before I play him. So like run nothing but like mana rocks and artifacts that do dumb shit for him, like Strionic Resonator and everything. Cast them out right away, and then at that point, once I do decide to put him out, I have enough shit in hand to where I'm doing my thing. Or like you said, like cheat him out where I'm not casting it. I'm putting it out with a Thrawn's Temporal Gateway and stuff like that. So actually, it's viable that I do eventually build something with this, with a whole bunch of huge Strixhaven stuff. But right now, Krark is my spell slinger deck. So somewhere down the line, this will be a 5-color viable. Are there any 5 colors that you're interested in that like actually you fantasize about building or may?
So this is a 2-part question. So the May is that I did end up picking up the 20 Ways to Win precon
Yeah.
from Secret Lair,
Yep.
which is currently under editing constructions. I will leave it 5-color. So that kind of counts as that. Though I don't think I'm going to use Go Shintai as the commander. I think I'm going to actually use Kenrith instead.
Nice. That's a great option. Hell yeah.
Because Go Shintai doesn't really do anything as far as I can see. And fuck the shrines. I'd rather have the incremental value of like drawing a card or putting 1/1 counter on something. So
Yeah.
But it's hard to count that one because that was more so just kind of like sometimes they make decks for the meme, and then sometimes they build decks because I think like they'd be fun and like I like the depth of it. I really like Garth One Eye, and somehow finding a way to like blink him to make like Black Lotuses, which I think would be fucking funny just because I'll never own a Black Lotus, but I can make a Black Lotus token.
That's a fun build, honestly. I'd love to see that.
And then the other one that I also find to be kind of fun is Jared Carthalion, the precon planeswalker commander that like is 5-colored focus. Like it wants things that are 5 colors. Because my big problem with running things that are 5-color are it's hard not to just do good stuff. It's hard not to just have like, okay, well, 40 of my 60 available slots are just the staples in each of the colors in each of their respective areas.
Right.
Where he specifically wants you to run things that are multicolored, if not 5-colored. So
yeah,
I feel like that would be a fun build of 5-color that's not that generic like 5-color good stuff.
that would be great. I think we could do it. I was interested in Urtet also, just making a whole bunch of mirrors and finding ways to like fuck shit up with artifacts. So it's like an unconventional artifact deck. But,
You and your unconventional artifact.
I know. And then I'm so curious as to why I'm not normally leading the winning stats on the board. That goes to show I earn all my wins. I fucking earn it. Or I steal it from other people. I either earn it or I steal it. I guess that's all wins, huh? That's how anybody wins.
Yep, that's how it all wins.
That's how.
But yeah, so those are the stats. We're at 78 decks for the year. Let's see where we fall at the end of 2025.
I love it.
Maybe we'll see some more 5-colors, some more monocolors, but it is the year of the woo. So
yeah,
happy woo year, happy woo year,
happy woo year.
The greatest thing ever.
Yeah, that worked out perfectly.
That was
unscripted. Everybody, that's just how it goes.
And we're going a little long, so just last thing, any 2025 MTG resolution?
Absolutely. I would like to start playing constructed paper events. I would like to start going to some standards, some pioneers, some commander at the shop, some whatever is happening at the shop. I'd like to make more effort to go play in person, as well as play as many games on Spell Table as possible. I want it to be commonplace for us in 2025 to hit up on like a Tuesday and be like, "Hey man, I built a new deck. You mind just meeting me on? We'll play a quick commander game." It's like, "Yeah, sure." Fucking sign on. Hour and a half. We meet up 2 randos. We, get a game done and call it a day. I think that'll be a great way to satiate during those rough months where you can't go play, but at least you're online socializing and talking and playing. And that's my resolutions, is to just, I guess, play more paper altogether. How about you?
My eternal resolution is always to play more Magic in general. I have a child on the way, so I know that towards the end of next year it's going to get a little sticky with playing. But so my goal is to jam as much in for the first half of the year as possible. Number one. And number two is I also wanted to get into a constructed format in some regard. Maybe it's standard. Maybe it's Pioneer. Pioneer more likely just because they play it more often. But like Friday isn't even the best day for me to go. Saturday is, and if Saturday is the standard day, then I feel like that's probably ultimately what I should do. And especially if you and Troy get interested in it as well, then that's 3 of the 8 players it would require to actually fire. So
Yeah,
or
that would
is
be
it 10?
that would be a blast if we just go play. Saturdays are always hard for me, and especially once you have the kid, it'll be hard on a Saturdays because the weekends is when you're trying to make up for everything because the weekdays get crazy. But that would be great if we, at least once or twice a month, we can just go take 3-4 hours, go play some paper constructed, talk to other players, shuffle up some cards, buy some booster packs, win some packs. It's such a rewarding thing to actually go. It's like going to the gym, where it's like I could do push-ups at home, but like going to the gym and getting your reps in and everything, no matter how much of extra effort it is, you walk out there like, fuck yeah, that was worth it. So
What night does Modern fire? Let's just go back into Modern.
Modern, I think, is Wednesdays or something. Wednesdays Commander. Who fucking knows? I will not join Modern because I'm not a good player, and Modern players know exactly what they're doing. So I'll never fit in.
Good. You'll get good.
If I
don't
was
know
going to
what the fuck
get
I'm
good, I
doing,
would have gotten
Modern.
good by now. It's been over a decade. I
You
have not
willingly
get
choose.
good.
You choose this. You choose
I-
those plays. You know better. And you'd still
I
choose
am
to
who
do
I
it.
am. I have to accept it as part of my play pattern. Although Pioneer, when I was shuffling and organizing all these cards, I have a full Pioneer deck ready. My Rakdos aggro is so fucking ready. And, I have it fully built, but a few new cards have come out and they're easy enough to buy, grab, do. I'm fucking ready for Pioneer. But I meet you on that same thing of like my Fridays are a little rough. So.
Yeah.
Damn, here we are
Damn, being
trying to
an
make it
adult.
happen and realizing it won't. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, Commander. More Commander then. As much
Yeah.
Commander as
Yeah.
possible. All the Commander. All the time.
Spell Table. Yeah. We'll make it happen.
All right. Any closing
Any
thoughts?
last resolutions? Yeah. Resolutions. I got no, I wanna stop building so many decks. And
I want to build more decks.
yeah, well that's the problem. Is in my heart, I know I should stop building. I'm at 11, which is more than I should. I want to stop building.
You could
decks, and
fit
I hope
12
it's
in
a
that case. You actually have one more deck to build.
I know, but so I like to have a whole row. So 8 decks is my prime spot. If I have 8 decks, there's a chance I could play them all in one day if you play long enough. And then I have a whole slot for my accessories, my dice,
That's
my
the back flap
bags,
is for.
No, man, 12 is too many. It's too many. It stresses me out. But here I am at 11, wanting to build.
Do you need one more? And then you're there. There it is. And you're already thinking about a couple to build, so you're good, Holmes.
I know. Here I am. I'm a walking hypocrite. I'll keep on building them, but I hope I build them with intent. No, I don't. I don't fucking care. Whatever. Fuck it.
All right,
I'll keep on building them.
Yay! Build decks.
Resolution: build more decks. Oh shit. All right, man. Well, listen, we had a wonderful year of Magic. I think we've had some great games, great decks. I love doing the podcast, and hopefully next year, regardless of all the struggles of life and everything, we go harder in the paint.
Agreed.
But until next year, you have a good one. I reached the bottom of my glass a while ago.
I'm never gonna reach the bottom of mine. I took
Yeah,
my sips and I'm good.
yeah. I'm gonna stop drinking for a little while in the new year. I got to get my health back in check. My blood pressure's up. My fucking, my inflammation. I'm an old man now, and alcohol and my alcoholism is definitely hindering my ability to be healthy. So, my next podcasts, I'll probably be drinking juices, waters, liquid deaths, shit like
Right.
that. Yeah, so don't judge me, everybody. I'm just trying not to die for my children.
Nobody gives a shit.
I feel like they're judging me heavily. I sign on and I'm like, I need to drink.
I need this.
But that's also part of the problem is everything I do, I'm like, but I need to drink. So I got to quiet that voice down a little bit. It's about improving, right? Every year be better. The most important step is the next step, they say.
Yep.
I will do better. Anyway, brother, a good year. I will see you next year. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Oh, in the bottom of the glass. Hey.